Race 2 of the Aprilia Superteens, they're ready to go. Jake Dixon behind me is looking for 4 wins out of 4. But Callum Bay and championship leader Chrissy Rouse are going to look to stop him. Can Jack Keane or maybe one of the other riders get involved in the mix as well? Robin, over to you.
Thanks very much, Steve. Well, yes, you're quite right. Any number of the other riders could get in the mix, but Callum Bay there, number 80, Chrissy Rouse, championship leader, number 55, and Jake Dixon, number 35. They've been the class of this weekend, and it's up to the others to stick themselves in amongst them. There we see some very interested spectators from the sidecar support group this weekend. But on pole position, it is Callum Bay, Chrissy Rouse and Jake Dixon joining him on the front row. Jack Keane, Luke Helm and Callum Cooper on the second row, but away they go. Jake Dixon, a good start, but I'm sure that Callum Bay has the correct line through Coppice if he can just hang on there. Yes, he does. Chops across, takes the lead, running up the hill. Callum Bay and Jake Dixon, Steve, for the first time of asking.
Yeah, but it looks like Jack Keane has made his way up to the front now as well, the Norwich lad. He's not actually finished a race this weekend as yet, so he'll be looking to get himself on the podium. Chrissy Rouse in second, the championship leader, number 55. Callum Bay, as we just mentioned, number 80, the pint-sized 12-year-old Scotsman. Or Scots boy, should I say?
Yeah, well, Luke Helm in, he certainly rides like a man. There's Luke Helm there in 5th place. Just tucked in behind that leading bunch, and that was a fantastic slipstreaming effort by Jack and Chrissy to get ahead of Callum and Jake as they ran up the Long Park Straight. There, that leading bunch up the mountain, and Luke Helm, number 51, tucked in, keeping a watching brief, and will be determined not to get dropped. That's his main aim, not to get dropped by the leaders this time. He was best of the rest in the earlier race, but he'd really like to be in the thick of those challenging for podium places.
Jack Keane it is that leads then, number 114, got his first win, as you mentioned earlier, at Snetterton, his local circuit, but he really has come on song this season. He is one of the older competitors at 18 years old, but this season, compared to last season, he's come on leaps and bounds.
Callum Cooper, good start to this race. He moved up into 5th place there, just getting ahead of Luke Helm, and Luke Buckingham, the other Luke, local Luke, not that far back down the road in 7th place, but up the front, ooh, amazing piece of outbreaking there. Jake Dixon just squeezes into the lead ahead of Jack Keane, and Callum Bay, look at him there in 3rd place, just gets up alongside, can't quite make that one stick, so Jack Keane stays there in 2nd. Dixon, Keane, Bay and Rouse. That's the leading 4. Now, you see they're getting a bit of a pedal on. They've opened up a little bit of a gap back to their pursuers, and that's Callum Cooper, number 7. Look at that, still ahead of Luke Helm. Luke Buckingham, though, closing in on them. So that little group of 3 really beginning to challenge, Steve.
Yes, Luke Buckingham's done ever so well to get himself up there, and he's currently chasing down Luke Helm and Callum Cooper. So keep an eye on the all-white leathers, number 14. There he is going through Hall Bends, but at the moment, in front, it is that man again. It's Jake Dixon, number 35 from Dover, leading Jack Keane, then Callum Bay, then JDF rider, championship leader Chrissy Rouse, number 55 from Newcastle.
Yep, as we did say earlier on, Jake Dixon picked up 3 out of 3 this weekend, and it is his dad's 50th birthday weekend. So Jake doing his utmost to give his dad the best ever birthday present. I know in that interview earlier, Steve, that Darren, Jake's dad, was saying that he gets more fun out of watching his boy these days, and also slightly more fear than ever he got when he was becoming a child, both 3 wheels and 2.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. These Aprilia Superteens, they are the stars of the future, and it's been proved with all the riders, Cal Crutchlow, James Toseland, Leon Camier, they've all come through the Aprilia Superteens, so it's quite tense but good fun at the same time.
And I have to say, very clean as well. It is marvellous to see these young riders riding so closely together, and goodness me, no quarter asked and none given, but they very seldom does anything go wrong. They keep it sane and sensible, but my goodness me, it provides exciting action.
Here we see one of the Hartley Hares, and that's Jamie Thackeray's come through from the back of the grid. Jamie, he's just ahead of Aussie rider Brad Shaw.
Yeah, Jamie Thackeray, who we've been used to seeing challenging up the sharp end of races recently, but he had an absolute mare in qualifying. He didn't get any decent lapping in at all and has had to work hard to get through from the back of the grid in all the races this weekend. So making good progress, but not anywhere near as far up the field as he ought to be.
No, he'll be looking to beat his brother Luke as well, who's having a fantastic weekend this time around. Luke Thackeray from York, but at the moment it's Jack Keane from Norwich that leads from Jake Dixon. They've just got a tiny bit of a gap over Callum Bay, who closes the door on Chrissy Rouse.
Yeah, Chrissy got up alongside him and ahead of him as they came up Park Straight, but Callum just reclaims that third place. So once again, thinking caps back on. What's going to happen next? Jack Keane, well, it seems a long time ago now since he picked up his maiden win at Snetterton. Hasn't really looked back since then, has he? Hasn't picked up the wins that he wanted, but he's now a genuine front runner.
I think now he knows that he can be up there, he'll be fine. It's just getting the results and getting the bike to the finish line. There's Jake Dixon. We see Tom Oliver there, number 20, ahead of Josh Daly and Joe Collier. There's Brad Shaw and Max Simmons.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff there, all the way down through the pack. Luke Thackeray, we saw 95, Jamie's brother, but up the front, Jack Keane across the line. You almost can only see one bike for a moment. Jack Keane from Jake Dixon, that's 1 and 2. And it's Callum Bay and Chrissy Rouse, that's 3 and 4. Now then, there's Josh Daly, 88, being chased hard by Tom Oliver and Joe Collier.
Yeah, it's a good little battle, that is. And there's the Hartley brothers, Matt and Harry, going. Well, there's Matt going up the inside of Harry, so some brotherly love on circuit.
Yeah, well, certainly brotherly battles. Up the front, though, oh, goodness me, Chrissy Rouse just nicks up the inside of Callum Bay, but Callum just hangs on there. Do you know, Callum, Steve, it really impresses me. He's not one to spend his race looking over his shoulder, and he doesn't get out. He holds his line. He makes the others do the work, and he kept that position simply by holding his line. There, Chrissy Rouse just does him on the inside. Beautifully done at Mansfield. But Callum Bay will not be flustered by that. He'll keep to his own race, to his own line, and hope that that'll carry him past back up into third.
Yeah, he's a class act, and it'll serve him well in the future, considering this is his first full year of road racing. He's an exceptional talent, as is Chrissy Rouse, but Jack Keane and Jake Dixon at the moment are the two young men that are leading the way here. There's this battle again a little bit further back. Josh Daly, number 88, with the Dayglow yellow wheels, ahead of Joe Collier and Tom Oliver.
Yep, in between them and the leaders, still got Callum Cooper.
Oh, we've lost Jack Keane. Jack Keane's gone missing.
And that must be up in the woods somewhere. Look at Callum Bay just dragging past Chrissy Rouse on the straight. What a great shame for Jack Keane there. We see Luke Buckingham just ahead of Luke Helm and Callum Cooper. That's the second group, as it were. Then the main bunch still being headed by the likes of Josh Daly and Joe Collier. But up the front, Callum Bay, look at him there, just dragging past Chrissy Rouse. Will he be able to hold it this time? Or can? No, yes, he has. He's held it. Chrissy Rouse has been nipping back past Callum at that point, but Callum, no, just holds that second position now. Jake Dixon out the front, momentarily on his own. There behind, superb battle going on. That's Jordan Holt, number 99, at the head of that little bunch. But quick look over the shoulder there. Chrissy Rouse having got back ahead of Callum Bay, just checking where Callum is. Callum's right there, just holding his line once again. And Steve, I think, is just going to take the opportunity to have a quick word with Jack Keane.
Just caught up with Jack Keane. Jack, what happened in that race?
Yeah, basically I felt comfortable leading it really, and I weren't pushing 100%. Come out of the hairpin, the front started tucking, and I just got the power to compensate for it, and it high-sided me off, and I've been down to the medical centre, and I think I broke my scaphoid.
Oh, well, let's hope Jack is back in action by the time we get to Brands Hatch. But his last lap flag time, Jake Dixon eyes down in third place there, watches the two ahead of him, and Chrissy Rouse once again getting out dragged by Callum Bay. Bay it is that leads up the hill. Fantastic stuff this There's Luke Buckingham being chased by Luke Helm and Callan Cooper. That's the battle behind, but Steve, wonderful stuff up the front with Chrissy Rouse just coming through to the lead, being chased by Jake Dixon.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Oh, look at that. They nearly run. Oh, Jake Dixon nearly run himself and Chrissy Rouse off circuit. Any one of these three, you could win. You chuck a blanket over all three of them here, couldn't you?
Hey, fantastic stuff. Jake Dixon leads it. Chrissy Rouse once again gets back ahead of Callum Bay as Matthew Schilling's bike. Good to see him up and walking away from that. He goes down, but can't tear her eyes away from this. Jake Dixon leads. Chrissy Rouse second. Callum Bay now third. Each of them, I have to say, every time they cross the line, the fastest lap light just lights up all over the board. They're swapping fastest laps all the way through this. They've got about, just a few hundred metres to run. Still, we don't know who's going to win it. There's Luke Buckingham up into a brilliant fourth place, but Callan Cooper not that far back in fifth. Checker flag, though, is out. Here they come. Who wants it most? It's going to be, well, it's a bit of a chase. And he pulls out of the slipstream, but it's going to be Jake Dixon just from Chrissy Rouse. I think Chrissy Rouse thought he got it there, but Jake Dixon has it by 20 thousandths of a second. Callum Bay, 0.6 of a second back in third. Luke Buckingham, an excellent fourth place. Brilliant races by Callan Cooper and Luke Helm. Lovely stuff. And there, the podium, Jake Dixon, Chrissy Rouse and Callum Bay. Standings, Chrissy Rouse still leads it from Callum Bay. Jake Dixon is in third, Tommy Mount in fourth, Jack Keane fifth in the points, Josh Daly is sixth. On the Nitro newcomers, well, Jake Dixon takes the win from Callum Bay and Callan Cooper. And Callum Bay holds on to the newcomers, points from Joe Collier, Jake Dixon, Callan Cooper, Brad Shaw and Jordan Hull.
Third place in the Aprilia Superteens, second race, Callum Bay. Callum, the pace has been really quick out there this weekend. Not quite managed to get the win.
Nah, we tried my best, but I couldn't get it. But we had some really good battles over the weekend, so I'm happy with what I've got.
Chrissy Rouse, you're still leading the championship, but Jake Dixon's just had the better of you over the weekend.
I've still got I've increased my lead to 60 points over the weekend, and Jake's got nothing to lose. I think he's 180 points behind or 188 points behind coming into the round, and fair play to him. He's rode brilliant this weekend, and it showed in the last race when he went on the grass how hard he was actually pushing. Fair play.